Warning, the following video will contain spoilers for an episode of Miraculous Ladybug. If you want my recommendation, watch the episode I am watching before continuing on with this video. But if you don't care about spoilers, then just sit back and enjoy.
It's about time.
Okay, I said I was going to do another episode review for Miraculous Ladybug, but then I decided to change things up, so how about some Back to the Future? I'm acting! Hello everybody and welcome back to my Miraculous Marathon, now with 50% more time travel! Though as some calling Johnny once said in his Sonic 06 review,
time travel is bullshit.
However, in this particular episode, time travel isn't really a big focus. Okay, it kind of is, but not entirely. So I think that it's safe to say that we're not going to be running into any sort of issues involving time travel. But we're still going to be running into issues. So with that said, let's have a look at Episode 4, Timebreaker. Sure looks really ugly on me, doesn't it? So we begin our episode with...
Well, with or without?
Marinette's mom! You know what, I'll let Blade Blur do it this time.
Yay!
Okay, if I really hated her, I would have wished for a villain to get rid of her. Was that... I did? Oh. Well, I apologize. Well, I guess I should mention her parents, Sabine Cheng, voiced by Felice Sampler, and Tom DuPain, voiced by Christopher Corey Smith. They aren't bad, but they can be a bit embarrassing for Marinette. They also own the Boulangerie Patisserie, and I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, my French is very bad, well, mostly because I don't even know French, so if anybody's willing to tell me how to pronounce it, please let me know. They also own the Boulangerie Patisserie, which I brought up earlier in my Bubbler review for a brief moment. And I will say it now. I don't want to go to this bakery! It's actually based off of a real-life bakery you can find in Paris. Though, unlike the show, this one specializes in selling bread. Yeah, that's another thing to bring up. While the arrangement isn't exact, the animators paid a lot of attention to detail in terms of the places in Paris. Of course there is the Eiffel Tower, but there's also the aforementioned Le Grand Paris, the Grand Palais, the Pont des Arts, Trocadero, the Louvre, the list goes on. The only downside to this is that whenever I go to these places in Paris, if I ever go to these places in Paris, I will always be reminded of this godforsaken series and all the Sorry. I forgot that I was reviewing an episode. So let's move on.
It's not every day you celebrate your 20th wedding anniversary.
Gee, I wonder why.
That's a mystery.
So we then get our first appearance of Tom DuPain,
Except for a minor appearance in the Bubbler.
and he's worried about his mustache. Wait, what?
My mustache, I groomed it. Is it too short? Should I shave the whole thing off? Maybe it's a little crooked on one side.
You look perfect, Dad. Except for one thing.
Thanks, sweetheart.
No problem, Dad.
We're 1 minute and 7 seconds into this episode and I already have nothing to say about a particular scene. So as Sabine mentioned earlier, she and Tom are celebrating their 20th wedding anniversary. So they're leaving behind Marinette so she can give Naja Shamak, voiced by Sabrina Weiss, a local TV news reporter and... the mother of Manon, a special Eiffel Tower cake. We'll touch base on this later, but for now we must get to the focus for our episode, which oddly enough the parents just so happen to sit next to. Alex Kupdal, voiced by Kira Buckland.
By the way, I really love your cosplays. You look amazing.
Couldn't you have made more of an effort to dress nicely?
What do you mean? I took off my cap.
I understand. Saves a lot of money on animation.
Okay, on a completely unrelated note, what is up with her eyes? The ends of her eyes look so much darker than the middle. This is not natural.
So it's Alex's birthday today, and her father wants to give her a special family heirloom in the form of a fob watch that was made by an ancestor a long time ago, and it's been passed down to every generation on a 15th birthday. Sounds fine to me.
It's pretty sweet, Dad, but I've already got a watch. Synced up to my smartphone.
Hey, I have a smartwatch. Oh! Smartwatch? What smartwatch? I don't have a smartwatch. Why are you telling me that I have a smartwatch? Are you playing games with me? I think that you're on...
But sometimes there's more to things than meets the eye. Let's just say our ancestor was... ahead of his time.
Okay, I do not care if you're using "our ancestor was ahead of her time" as an excuse. I'm calling BS on that! Seriously, how is this a thing? Was Thomas Astruck really trying to put Sonic Screwdriver TV remotes to shame? I mean, was he? So after Alex accepts the watch, we cut to...
Come on, Marinette, you can do it. Just remember the formula. Think, Marinette, think! I might be able to do it if you weren't distracting me so much with your encouraging words.
Wow. The one time Tiki tries to be useful and ends up being a nuisance. Well, that perfectly sums up Ladybug.
What?
Nothing! So Ollie calls Marinette and reminds her that she has to be at an event involving a bet between Kim and Alex. And she even made a banner for it.
Yay.
Only problem? She has to be there in 5 minutes, and she still has to give Miss Shamak the Eiffel Tower cake.
You'll never make it to Trocadero in 5 minutes. It's way too far. Not too far for Ladybug.
They decide to off-screen the transformation sequence, thank God, and she heads over to the Trocadero. This should end well. So Kim bet Alex that he could beat her in a race around the fountains of the Trocadero. Alex's rollerblades versus Kim's legs, and... if Kim wins, Alex must give up her rollerblades. If Alex wins, Kim must stop doing dares for the rest of the year.
We're through with all of those stupid dares.
Uh-huh, that's right! No more dares!
I'm acting! Okay, there really wasn't much for him to work with that one line. So before the race begins, Alex gives Alia the family heirloom, but because Alia has to record the race, she gives Marinette the heirloom. Haven't these guys ever heard of pockets? I mean, look, Marinette is holding the watch with one hand. She could have easily slipped it into one of her pockets and used the free hand to hold the banner, and the watch would be safe. I say this because soon enough, Marinette loses the thing only for Adrian to catch it.
Need any help?
Yep, thanks. Gotta be careful, even if you are amazing. Holding things in your hands.
Only for Chloe to take it, only for her to drop it, only for Alex to run over it, only for me to stop saying only 4 in a sentence! Oh yeah, and Alex won, but does that really matter? So I guess we could all put the blame on Marinette for this. Cause she had the watch in her hands and she could have easily put it into her pocket, saying as it was free. Our hero, ladies and gentlemen! What? We're gonna put the blame on Alex? Nah, we're gonna put the blame on Marinette. We're putting the blame.
My old man gave me this for my birthday. This watch is totally a family heirloom.
And you totally destroyed it, which totally means that Hawkmoth is totally going to send an Akuma after me and totally make me into a totally awesome or totally stupid minion.
Fly away, my little Akuma, and evilize her.
We're totally screwed.
Marinette, what about Mrs. Shamak's cake? There's still time.
Oh yeah, about that. She's already there.
Well, there has to be a way to get it back to the way it was.
Like how, huh? Go back in time and change the future? When you figure out how to do that, let me know.
Oh yeah, about that. Just show it.
Timebreaker.
granting you the power to retaliate against the people who've wronged you and to go back in time to restore the future. But you must do me a favor in return when the time is right.
You got it, Hawkmon.
And ladies and gentlemen, here's our villain of the day, Timebreaker. And as a villain, she's pretty cool. Her design isn't really the best though. I honestly wished her helmet looked less like a bug. But her situation is relatable, and she's actually pretty threatening. Seeing as one touch from her will cause that person to vanish. Oh yeah, and she's essentially the miraculous equivalent of a living DeLorean. Seriously, they're not even trying to be subtle here. We'll touch base on this later, but for now, we need to get a good look at this glorious, meme-worthy statue of the meathead himself.
What did you do to Kim? Why is he fading?
I needed his energy. Besides, the dude was a pain anyway with all those bets. He deserves to disappear forever. And so do you!
Especially since you're the one who caused my watch to be destroyed in the first place. No, I will not put the blame. So yeah, Marinette hides, insert transformation sequence here, Ladybug steps into the scene, and...
Time out, Timebreaker!
absolutely owns the Timebreaker! Yeah, that's one problem that I have with Timebreaker. She's incredibly weak! I mean, seeing as she's rollerblading, she's incredibly vulnerable to tripping over!
Please, help me up! I messed up, please!
It's a trap!
Sweet Rose! Always thinking of others before yourself!
But she's incredibly manipulative, so that helps. Oh my god, I feel so crazy.
Where on earth is that cat?
So yeah, insert transformation sequence here, and rest in peace, Milan.
1.5 minutes. You won't be able to stop me where I'm going, Ladybug.
Let me guess. We're all playing a game of tag and you're it?
Exactly.
I actually kind of like that moment. I mean, I don't know what it is about villain interactions with heroes, but they always seem to make me smile if done right. Like...
My powers have doubled since the last time we met, Count.
Good. Twice the pride, double the fall.
I don't know, it's just amusing.
Don't let her touch you!
Miss me! Just a second too late.
Oh my god, stop it with the puns! I'm serious, this guy never stops! I'm just waiting for Timebreaker to freeze him and...
Cat Noir! No!
Well, that was easy. Okay, moment of silence over. So even though she prevented herself from getting Cat Noir's Miraculous, she still has enough energy, which is probably equal to... 21 gigawatts! So she decides to go back in time with Ladybug being dragged behind her, which probably means she's going... 88 miles per hour! See what I mean? Actually, it doesn't really look like she's going 88 miles per hour at all. If anything, it looks like she's slower than the DeLorean itself. And I'm not talking about the one from Back to the Future, I mean the actual DeLorean. Which, in case you don't know, the maximum MPH for a real-life DeLorean car is 85 miles per hour, not 88.
Okay, I'm cutting in post-production to correct myself. It turns out that there have been reports of the DMC-12's top speed being over 100 miles per hour. It's just that the speedometers ended at 85 miles per hour. However, because of its weight and its PRV V6 engine, it has, at best, an 8.8 seconds 0 to 60 mph time. So it will take you a long time to reach 88 miles per hour, but regardless, the point that I'm trying to make is that you're going to be faster than this woman.
But somehow, it works! Yeah! Okay, there are plenty of issues coming up, so I'm just going to list them off in the most over-the-top way possible. So I gotta get prepared. It's empty. Might as well settle for the next best thing. was responsible for his poor skills of animation? How is it that the effects from Back to the Future, a film made in 1985, were much better than this? Why are there no flaming trails when she leaves? How are Cat Noir's eyes closed and net shut were open in the net? How is it that in this timeline the watch immediately breaks when Chloe drops it, when Abe was able to survive falling from a much larger height and a couple of scads? How come Ladybug and Cat Noir don't know who each other are behind the mask? Why is the Back to the Future DVD back in my hands when it's not supposed to? Ah!
Ladybug, this time it's your fault!
Wait, what?
Ladybug, it's all Ladybug's fault! It's all Ladybug's fault!
Oh, I'm sorry. I just had a bit of a flashback. Does Hawkmoth come out in this scene?
Could this be possible?
Of course he does. Skip it! So, in a scene that angers me, Marinette from Timeline 2 finds Ladybug from Timeline 1. Tiki somehow senses that she is from the future, because of course she can. And Ladybug tells Marinette to go back to Miss Shamak to bring her the cake while she takes care of the Timebreakers. Okay, the fact that she is able to get her task accomplished because of time travel isn't the problem. Nor is the fact that they are looking at each other and somehow that isn't causing a time paradox.
Though that is still a big issue.
The problem? Look at this image here. If you were to say that Marinette and Ladybug were the same, I could guarantee you that once they look at this image, you will lose all credibility and be ignored by everyone you would want to talk to. Wanna know why I didn't want people to use this as a counter-argument in my Miraculous Mystery video? How many times have I told those people that I wanted them deleted? I do not want people to use them as counter-argument! This is why. It's time travel. And again,
time travel is bullshit.
So to see the both of them at the same time not only hurts me, but it also makes people ignore the fact that there are 2 Timebreakers and 2 Ladybugs!
2 Ladybugs? I'm in heaven.
Okay, except for Cat Noir, who's enjoying this a little bit too much, but what are you gonna do? Oh yeah, also, even when the 2 Timebreakers are teamed up, Ladybug's yo-yo still owns them! Let's just end this already! So when Timebreaker and Timebreaker decide to go back in time again, Ladybug and Ladybug used our lucky charms, and what do they conjure up this time?
Any ideas?
So Cat Noir uses his cataclysm to destroy something just to make the 2 turn. Our hero, ladies and gentlemen, destroying property for the sake of our safety. Ladybug 1 ties both of the Timebreaker's legs with this rope or something. Bungee cord?
Nope.
Then Ladybug 2 uses the cone and an ice cream sign, really clever by the way, to make them launch into the air. And both grab one of their rollerblades and break it open, releasing the Akuma. Insert status quo scenes here, reset everything back to normal, and then fist bump.
Pound it!
Between 2 Ladybugs. Ah, whatever. Another day, another attack, another victory for the Miraculous Duo, and another Ladybug. Who gets sent back to her regular timeline, which means her Cat Noir is back.
Or at least I hope he's back.
And Alex even gets her watch back.
Yay!
It was my responsibility. My bad.
Responsibility isn't something to be taken lightly. I should know.
It's all Ladybug's fault!
Could we go to a different scene, please?
I was just getting used to having 2 Ladybugs around.
But now you're gonna get used to no Ladybugs around. Gotta split before I change back.
She'll fall for me someday. It's just a matter of time.
Thomas! So our episode ends with Marinette in the bakery with her parents coming back from their anniversary dinner.
Next time, please wait for the customer in the bakery and not in your room listening to your loud music.
Did Miss Shermud not tell Marinette's parents that she was outside of the bakery when she got there?
Got it. I promise I won't screw up next time.
Good, because Mom's right. There's only one Marinette, and we're counting on her.
Oh, Tom. If only you knew. If only you knew. So that was Timebreaker, and even with all of my screaming, how's it hold up? Pretty good. Now, much like the previous episodes, I do have a few problems, like this scene, and especially this scene. But even then, it's not really enough to hamper my experience. I mean, I really love Timebreaker as a villain. Her motivation is pretty reasonable, she's pretty nicely designed except for the helmet, and she's pretty deadly, if a bit weak. And of course it has every single positive that every episode of Miraculous Ladybug has, so everything checks out there. And even Kira Buckland gives a great performance. And as for the time travel aspect, again, it's not perfect, but it's not really a huge issue to get in the way of a pretty good episode. Much like the previous 4 episodes, I highly recommend that you watch it if you haven't seen it. It may not be as good as Back to the Future, but if you have seen that film, you might find some enjoyment in this. Although I do kind of feel sorry for Alex, so... Alex, I know you aren't real, but I'm sorry for what Marinette and Ladybug did to you. And believe me when I say that this isn't the last mistake that these two will ever make. I still stand by what I say, and you will not change my viewpoints! You got that? Okay, it's pretty much clear that I already got my Back to the Future DVD, so what do I have to review next? Well then. Are you freaking kidding me? Why's the lighting suddenly better? I don't know. Next up is Coffee Cat. Until then, this is ASLB and I've got nothing else to say other than... see ya.
Oh,